From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is the Weather Classroom.
We all see these storms that happen over the course of the year, and that is where the storms do bring us that hail potential. And you might see some pea-sized hail, you might see some golf ball-sized hail. Well, exactly how does that form? Why do they start coming in different sizes? Well, let's get right to it. First off, you got to have a storm. And so you get this updraft that's coming up into the storm. It's pretty strong. And so what that does is it forces any of those water droplets to eventually force its way on up to the top or near the top of the storm. And up there, it's very cold. It's below freezing. So those water droplets, they travel, and then all of a sudden they start to freeze because they're in that freezing environment. Well, as the process goes on, the updraft is still strong enough to keep the weight of the hailstone up in the cloud. So you start getting this kind of back and forth motion here where you start having raindrops. They'll get condensed on those hailstones that are already developed, and they just keep getting larger and larger and larger. But at some point, the downdraft starts to win out because the updraft is not strong enough to keep this hail activity up in the cloud. All of a sudden, here they come. They come crashing down to the ground, and you could get anywhere from pea size to dime size to quarter size, even up to potentially what we call grapefruit size hail. Those are just massive hailstones. So let's go through the hail size and talk about what's severe and what's not severe. So if you have pea size, dime, or penny size hail, or even nickel size hail, that's still a pretty good hailstone, but guess what? It's not severe yet. Severe starts at an inch in diameter. That's what we call quarter size hail. You go up above that, you get ping pong size hail. You can get tennis ball size hail, baseball, and even up to softball. And like I said, yes, there's even grapefruit size hail that we have had before. But the distinct thing with these different size of hailstones is it can actually tell you how strong the updraft is. Like I mentioned, the updraft, it has to be strong enough to keep those hailstones up in the cloud and continue to get larger and larger and larger. But at some point, that updraft is too weak to carry that weight that's up in the storm, and they start crashing down. So if you have a weak updraft, it's still relatively strong, but on the weaker side of things, you end up getting that small hail potential. Then you start getting a pretty strong updraft that's producing severe hail up to quarter size or ping pong size hail. Once you get to baseball, softball, and even larger, that is an extremely powerful updraft and a very powerful storm that is containing that hail.